there, my name is Ananda, and today's video I'm going to be doing my January book haul. So this month was pretty exciting. I got a lot of new books, but I also got a lot of books that I have been dying to just pick up since I started getting back into books. So we've got some manga, we've got some graphic novels, comics, everything. It's gonna be a good haul, so let's just get into it because I do have quite a bit of books. So the first I'm going to go with is actually a purchase I did in December, but it only arrived in January, so I'm kind of counting in this, and that is Thor, God of Thunder Reborn. So I'm not 100% sure if once again he comes back to life or something, but this was a new release at the end of December 2018. So that's why I had to pre-order it and get it. And I'm really intrigued by this because one, I just quickly browsed through it when I got it, and excuse me, I think Hela, which is Thor and Loki's sister, if you didn't see Thor Ragnarok, and Thanos are getting married or dating or something like that. It's super weird. I'm not 100% sure what the context of that is, but there's a wedding and just to give, I saw one picture and I was like, that's interesting. And it's a specific picture where we have Hela, Loki, and Thor just here, and the title of that is called A Lovely Day in Hell for a Wedding. So I'm very excited to read this. I'm definitely gonna be pre-ordering the second one. I really like the art of this one, and Thor with a very fancy beard when he's a lot older, yes, give me that hunk of meat. The next book I picked up is one of my childhood books that I read when I was younger, and one of my goals of this year is to start reading this book series, and that is Les Chevaliers d'Emeraude by Anne Robillard. And this is a book that my aunt discovered and then passed on to my cousin and then wanted me to get included in this. So I read this. I think there's 8 or 12 books, and I had the entire collection, but I have to rebuy the books because I left my books at my dad's ex-girlfriend's house and I never heard of them again. So I did buy it. It's pretty small in the sense, it's not one of the big fantasy. It's 303 pages. I am a little bit skeptical because the writing looks a little weird. Every time someone talks, instead of just having the talking writing style, it's just a dash and then the talking, and then when someone else talks it dashes again. I don't know how I like that too much, but we shall see. This is the first volume. It is called Le Feu dans le Ciel, so fire in the sky, and I'm just really excited. Basically, if I remember correctly, it follows the story of Kira. Oh, she's purple. I thought she was green skin, but she's purple skin, and she was conceived by these big people in the world, and basically there's a prophecy following her, and the destruction, that was really hard for me to say apparently, of the place, and it just follows her, I believe, as she learns to become a knight, learns to defend herself and whatnot. And I believe we follow her throughout the years of her so-called destiny. So as you can tell, I don't remember shit fuck all about the series, but I'm really excited to get back into it. The next couple of books are pre-orders, and I did mention them in my books I'm most anticipated to read in 2019 from January to March. So I'm not going to go into too many details because you can just watch that one. But the first one is The Girl King by Mimi Yu, which follows two sisters who I got a better gist of it now, but it's something they weren't meant to be in power of a kingdom, and now they are, so they have to fight. I don't know if they have to fight each other or something, but something to that effect. I'm super excited to read this, and yeah. The next one is Slayer by Kiersten White, which is a book that takes place in the Buffy world. I have not heard anything since I first mentioned it in that video, so I can't go on. Just know it's in the Buffy universe, so we shall see how I feel about that. The next one is The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. I still haven't really figured out how to say it. Chokshi, I think. And this is one I've heard big praises about since it came out, and I will hopefully read this in March because I am taking part in a couple of book clubs and things like that, and one of them is we voted for a bunch of books that we might read in March, and I voted for this one, so we might pick it, or we'll see what the outcome is, but hopefully I get to read this in March or soon, I don't know, but I really want to read it. The next one is Dragon Pearl by Yoon Ha Lee. This is a space opera story with Korean folklore. How did I say that? Korean? It's Korean folklore, and I'm just really excited to read this. I don't know when I'll be able to get through it, because I choose my TBR out of a box, and unless a readathon or a book club has this where I can actually read it, I don't know when I'll be able to read it, but hopefully soon. I'm really pumped for this one. And the last one here I have in the pile is Echo North by Joanna Ruth Meyer, which is something to do with wolves. I have heard literally nothing about this book since it came out, so I'm not sure if it's a good book or not, but I was really interested by the premise of the book, so I'm really excited to get to it. Again, don't know when, because I have a weird way of reading books. So all the books I had near me and bought kind of like in the early beginning of January. The next two are boxes. One is from Amazon and one is from Book Outlet, but I do have some miscellaneous buys from like Amazon like throughout the month, so I can't tell you when I got them. Some of them are pre-orders, some of them are old, some of them are new. So the first one here I have is a manga, and it is Ao Have Ride Volume 2. As I've mentioned, this is one of my favorite anime series of all time, and I am in love with the fact that they finally are translating it in English, so I'm pre-ordering all the volumes as they come out. This one came near the end of December, but I only received it in January, so technically came out in December, but I only got it in January because of like holidays and stuff. But super excited. I am going to be reading the first one this month, hopefully, because one of the book clubs that I am participating in chose this book and another book for their choices of the month, so I'm so gonna be reading it. Hopefully I have the time for it, but I am planning it because I'm hyped to finally read one of my favorite shows of all time. The next is a graphic novel, and that is Crystal Cadets by... It won't tell me the name of the person because it's not on the cover, so unfortunately I don't know who the author is, but this just seemed really cute. I really like crystals and like stones and stuff, and this seems to feature that as like a main thing. It's magic, it's fantastical, I like the art, and we got cute girls, so like of course I had to get it. This is not new, I just bought it used and stuff, but very good condition, and I'm really excited to get to it whenever I do. The next one is a book, and that is Rebel of the Sands by Alwyn Hamilton. I picked this for my December TBR, but by the time I got it, it was like January, so like I'm including it here even though I bought it like way into December. But yeah, I bought this edition of the book because the other books all have like very similar covers, and I want my covers to match. So I have this one, and it's paperback. I much preferred floppiness. Yes. The next one is a comic, and that is Hawkeye, which is not Hawkeye, but it is Kate Bishop Hawkeye, so like the female version of Hawkeye, I guess. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with this character, so that's why I decided to pick up the first volume and get an idea of the character. Not a big fan of the art. It's kind of like Archie style, like old Archie style, but like mixed with the Marvel-ness that made Marvel. So I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I am interested in finding out more about the character, so I'm not too mad. The next one is a graphic novel, and that is Zodiac Star Force by the Power of Astra by Kevin Panetta and Paulina Ganucho. That was a hard one. This, basically, only reason I liked it is because it's about horoscopes, and I have a weakness for horoscopes. So I just wanted to find out who my star sign is. I'm a Sagittarius, if y'all didn't know, and I just saw two girls kissing in this, so like, I need to read it soon. I need it. I just want to know what is this book and if I will love it forever. I don't know if this is just the first one or a standalone, but I'm excited to get into it. The next book I bought in January because I had picked it for my January reads, but I never had the time to pick it up and actually read it, and that is The Queen's Rising by Rebecca Ross. I believe the second book came out recently, or is going to come out recently, I'm not sure. I am pumped to read it because I have heard good things about it, but I cannot tell you what it's about because I haven't read it, and I don't remember what the synopsis is, or premise, or whatever. But I like the cover. Very pretty. I love the aesthetic of like moon stuff and like space, like stars and whatnot, so up my alley for that one. Alright, the next couple are pre-orders. There's 4 pre-orders in this box, and they're the last pre-orders for the entire haul. So the first is Circle of Shadows by Evelyn Skye. This is one that has to do with... This is one that, like, when I try to describe it in my book's anticipation of 2019, I didn't know what it was, but I see here it says A Society of Assassins, an Empire Magic, a World of Secrets. So like two things I like. We shall see how I like it. I have heard nothing from it yet, but it just came out like last week, so I'm not surprised. The next is The Cerulean by Amy Ewing, I think. This is one that I've heard many people hype, but I cannot tell you for the life of me what the fuck it's about. I do love the cover and the colors and like the big moon and stuff, but I think it has something to do with the girl being sacrificed. Like they have this whole religion and like everyone followed it until one day like I think this girl's grandfather has to be sacrificed or she has to be sacrificed, and suddenly she's like, maybe this isn't all what it's out to be, so I need to know what this world is, because like just by the cover it looks like something right up my alley, so I'm excited to pick it up whenever the frick that is. The next one is an unexpected pre-order, but it's one that drew me in by the premise, and that is The Cold Is in Her Bones by Peter Nell van Arsdale. Let's hope I said that right. But basically, the main premise of like a girl going into like a new town, blah blah, doesn't really interest me, but the fact that this new town has a curse of some sort where girls get possessed by demons, like, give it to me. And the last pre-order I have is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. I don't know how to say your name, I apologize. I didn't know what this was about. I've heard many people praise this book since reading it, but when I got it, I just realized it's a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. So, yes, I'm so happy I pre-ordered this. Like, I love retellings, which is sad because I haven't read a retelling yet, but I'm really excited with the fact that a lot of people who have read it now have praised it and said it's really good. I don't know if it's standalone or anything, but super hyped for this one. Alright, getting into the last couple of books. I say couple, but there's like an entire box full of books right here, which are from Book Outlet. I think they're all from Book Outlet. Not 100% sure. But the first one I have here is Honor Among Thieves by Rachel Kane and Anne Aguirre? I'm not sure. This was a pick of December. I didn't buy it in December, but I saw it on Book Outlet and I was like, oh my god, why wasn't this here when I had it for this, when I wanted to read it for December? I don't know what it's about, but I love the cover. I believe it has something to do with thieves. It says here, 100 were chosen, 1 will resist. Maybe another Hunger Games type of situation? We shall see what it's about when I read it. The next one is a series of books that I really want to pick up because it seems really interesting, but it's by the author Roger Lancelyn Green, but it's the Tales, this one is the Tales of Greek Heroes in the Puffin Classics, and he has a bunch of these, like Egyptian ones, well, Greek mythology, he has like northern ones, like he has just a bunch of these little books of like well, this one is Greek heroes, but he has like a bunch of them. I just want them all because it sounds like, one, I love mythology, so like give it to me, but also it just seems to be like explanation maybe on the stories, or like stories of some of these heroes. I see like Hercules in here. I see a lot of monsters. I think this is just Hercules, but anyways, we shall see. Very excited to read it. It's very cute and small, but I'm in love with these Puffin Classics, so I definitely want to pick it up. If not for the content inside, but also just because it's a Puffin Classics, and I've kind of fallen for those types of books lately. The next couple will be mangas. So the first here I have is Satan's Secretary by Kamotsu Kamonabe, which is, as it says, Satan's secretary, and she looks super cute, but like the words on the cover says, "Let us eradicate all humans except me from the face of the earth." So she seems to be like every population of any teenager I know, which is let's just erase humans, but with Satan in the mix. So it seems to be like a funny take on this, comedy one. She looks very cute, so I'm very hyped to read that. The next manga I have is Little Devils by Umi. There's like 3 U's, it's like Umi. The cover really drew me in. I'm like a sucker for supernatural elements, whether that's demons, angels, whatever, or little devils in this case. And it seems to follow a guy, the specific guy in the middle, who has to take care of all these little children. And that really calls me because, one, demon children, devil children, whatever. Yes, like they all look super cute, but also like a boy taking care of little devils, like, yeah, that sounds so cute, so I had to get it. The next and last manga I have is If it's for my daughter, I'd even defeat a demon lord, volume 1. It's by a couple of people, so I won't say their names. But I'm assuming this follows a father in a fantastical world, and I'm assuming it's his adventure with his daughter. But the title is long because, let's be honest, nowadays manga and light novels have super long titles. I don't know if this was made into an anime maybe recently. I think I've heard the title before, but I'm pumped to see it. It looks really cute, and she looks cute, and it's supernatural cuteness, like, yes. Alright, the last couple are all books. The first one being specifically a book that I just read, the first book, in January, but it is the second book of that series, which is The Burning World by Isaac Marion, which is the sequel to Warm Bodies. This is the second book. I believe there's either 2 more or 1 more book after this, but it is way bigger than the first one. Wait, I have the book here. So this is the first one. This is the second one. This is the size of them. So clearly there's a lot of content, but I think this came out a couple of years after the first one, but I'm super excited to read this. I was hooked into the first one, and this is actually the reason why I bought out of Book Outlet in the first place, is I saw this and I was like, give it to me. I need it in my life. I don't know when I'll be able to read it. Hopefully I pick it next month or for a readathon next month or something, but I want to get to it. It's so big. I'm like in love with it. It's like 500 pages, and I think, like I said, there is... Oh, the story concludes with the living, so it's a trilogy, but I'm super hyped to get into it. Before I get into the last book, this next book is also one of the reasons why I did a Book Outlet order, because, well, you'll get it when I say it, but it is Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. This is the first book in, like, their DC Icon series, where, like, different artists will write about a different DC person. So, like, they have Catwoman, Superman is coming out. I don't know who the third one, if there is a third one. Maybe Catwoman was the third one. No, I don't know. But there's, I think, 4 so far. And I'm just, like, really excited to read it. 1, because I'm not familiar with DC superheroes. 2, it's written by Leigh Bardugo, so yes. And 3, it's about Wonder Woman. So, any more that I can learn about this wonderful, beautiful goddess, then yes, give it to me. I'm just really excited too, because if they did this type of thing for Marvel characters, like, I would so do it. They kind of do it, like, there's a Thanos one that came out recently, and Black Widow, which I have, they're right here, but I haven't seen this kind of, like, YA bring. They're all, like, for middle grade, but I wish they would do it for Marvel, so I have to support the DC thing, because, like, even though it's not Marvel, it's superhero, so, like, if they see some people buying the DC ones, maybe they'll make some for Marvel. Who knows? But I am excited to read about this one. I also haven't seen the movie, so I don't know anything about Wonder Woman, which may be a good thing. And the last book that I have here is one that I really like the cover, but I'm not sure if it's a good book or not. But that is Shadow Girl by Liana Liu, and this seems to be a thriller or something. I've heard some people not like it. I've heard some people say it's an okay book, and honestly, I want to read okay books because, well, 1, the cover drew me in, so if it wasn't for the cover, I probably wouldn't have bought it. But I'm just really excited to see what is going on. I also really like the art. Like, I think that's the only reason why I picked it up, which is something I rarely do, because I don't really pick up books unless I know what the book is about, but I just had to for this one. I see there's a ghost in here, so I'm assuming it's some sort of thriller. So yeah, that's the last book of this haul, I think. Yes. So I hope you enjoyed this haul. It's only a couple of books. A lot of them are pre-orders, which is gonna be a new thing for me, because I don't usually pre-order books. I just wait till they come out, but I'm now getting into the love of pre-ordering books. Usually I pre-ordered other things, not books. I hope you enjoyed. It's quite a lot of books, but if you see any books that you enjoyed, let me know so that I might prioritize it if I have readathons or something, or challenges to do. Let me know if you... Well, let me know any recommendations you see off the books I have that you think I enjoy. I'm always up for recommendations. Also, give a like, comment down below, as I've mentioned twice now, and subscribe if you want to, but I understand if you don't. I hope February is a great month. I'm hoping it is. I'm working on, like, a special video project for February, which is... I've already started, and it's not looking up too great, but you'll see that when it comes out. I hope you enjoy this video, and I will potentially see you in my next one. Bye!